Good morning. For Traders Exclusive, this is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. What I'd like to talk about this morning is three things affecting the equity markets. Number one, go over the Dow theory. Number two, talk about the new leadership we're seeing in this bull market. And number three, what are the policy implications of the new president-elect Donald Trump? So first off, the Dow theory. The Dow theory is kind of getting into full swing now. And what that consists of is when the Dow Jones Industrials is hitting a new high, we want to see participation with the transports. Now, the transports are also moving to new recent highs. They're at a huge breakout. They're not at all-time highs like the Dow Jones Industrial, but it doesn't matter because they're both moving in sync. And this is probably the first time they've been moving in sync in 2 years. And the reason, the importance of the theory is that the Dow Industrial companies, they make the goods that people want. And of course, the transportation index is comprised of the companies that transports the goods to the people. So basically in that sector, you can take a look at stocks, whether it be rails like CSX or UNP, or some of the truckers like J.B. Hunt, or even the air freight like Federal Express, FDX, or UPS. Now, the second thing we want to take a look at is the new leadership in this market. Looks like the FANG stocks are not participating in this new rally after the election, and it's all the money's flying into banks, biotech, and building materials and related industries. So looking at some of the biotech, some of them might be that's doing really well in this environment is something like Celgene, Biogen, Insight. Looking at some of the builders, could be like Granite Construction, symbol GVA, or Argon, symbol AGX. These are companies that are doing very well, and again, it's part of the new theme. As far as banks, any bank, the money flowing into the banks is just crazy what's been going on in the last few sessions. As Wells Fargo's, Bank of America, these banks are trading up anywhere from 5 to 10% per day. That's pretty wild. We see the same thing in BofI Holdings. That's a savings and loan. You can look at some of the insurers like Primerica. Now, these aren't buy recommendations. A lot of these are extended now. This is just to tell you that we're seeing this major rotation out of sort of FANG stocks, which were the leaders, into these other groups. And lastly, what are the policy implications of Trump's new election? Well, it's no surprise that the market's doing good. Although all the talking heads and media pundits were going to warn you how, actually they're warning us that if Trump gets elected, how bad it's going to be for equity markets. But here's the thing, his policy is based on tax cuts. It's always good for the private sector. It's deregulation, always good for the private companies, and a lot of infrastructure spending. And he's going to do a little bit different, more through private companies. So with those things in place, that's actually very good for equities going forward. Now, of course, the one drawback could be his protectionist policies. We don't know how far he'll take that. That's never really good for growth. But all the other things I mentioned, tax cuts, deregulation, and infrastructure is going to be very good going forward for growth. So in summary, the markets, we're in a new bull market, probably started after the Brexit. We retested this a little bit the election, a little bit of a head fake, and now the market's rebounded sharply. So take a look at all your holdings and ask yourself, are your stocks, are they bouncing like tennis balls, or are they just sitting at the bottom like broken eggs? Because it might make you rethink what you're holding, and you should probably do some reallocation. So as always, let price and volume be your guide. This is George Kachuk, we're RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Have a great trading week.